I was at another radio station performing the news at that other station, and I decided to do a segment on advertising, and I met him. And you know, when you meet some people, they're very unassuming, very laid back, and that's the kind of personality that this gentleman has. Very unassuming, very laid back, and however, very, very knowledgeable. I think he's probably one of, I would say he's one of Houston's best well-kept secret. He's a good secret here in Houston. I think a lot of people just look at him as a webmaster. I don't have a clue that this guy is a speaker and a lecturer extraordinaire. Extraordinaire. I had an opportunity today to go a little bit further in terms of my knowledge into who Ed is, and I perused his website. By the way, he told me, he says, "You have a nice website, but it's not making any money." I said, "Yep, that's true." He said, "Yeah, no, I looked at it." I said, "Oh boy, this is going to be fun." I said, "Honesty too. Lord, did I ask for all of that?" Anyway, so I looked on his website, and I just followed the links from one to another, and I was very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. Not only the vastness of the knowledge, but the ability to share, you know, because I decided that I was just going to follow the link. So I was reading, and I noticed that he had a piece there for NatalieJ at KCOH, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And I followed the link, and all right, I went to the website, and I've been arguing with them about taking off that particular photo. It's like, I can't take that photo off. I don't like the way it looks. But anyway, I noticed, I said, wow, he's actually promoting the fact that I was inviting him here to Nitrate this evening. And listeners, I'm inviting him because he has some serious knowledge. And for those of you who think that we are not going to be using the internet, and don't worry about it, you have another thought coming. That is your new frontier, and believe me, if you think it's new, it is not new. It's in full gear. And I've always considered myself to be a person who is rather knowledgeable about a variety of things. You know, a jack of all trades, a Renaissance person for sure. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I sat down and had a conversation with him, and he mentioned so many names and not so many books. I said, woo, where are we? Let me click my heels. I need Kansas real quick. The web marketing company president and CEO, Ed Schipul.
One of the things that I think is interesting, the latest Pew Internet report shows that while 9% of the Internet users are black, 11% of the bloggers are. So there's actually an overrepresentation within the black community in blogging, because what it's doing is it's eliminating those expenses, those costs. You can go to blogger.com, you can launch a blog, and it's free. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to take off. It takes a lot of work. But if you're patient for 2 or 3 years, there's no reason you can't interject yourself in the national media landscape for free. So it really eliminates a lot of excuses, and that's why I think blogging is so exciting.
I think maybe I should just back up a little bit. Tell me about the internet. Where's it
going on the internet right now is going to have to be social software. And again, a great example today, I couldn't have asked for better news by getting ready for this interview, but Barack Obama just declared, and he launched a website called my.barackobama.com. So the word my instead of www, and the theme of it is, this campaign is about you. And at the bottom he's got links to Flickr, which is a photo sharing website. Again, it's free, and there's another link to YouTube, where he's got a channel on YouTube. So if a Swift boat type event comes up, not only is he going to be able to respond, but all the consumers out there are going to be able to respond with their own issues and upload it. So what is exciting on the internet to me right now is not the fact that we can upload video and content, because we've been able to do that for 10 years. What is exciting is the way we're interacting. I saw you track down my Flickr account and posted a comment on one of my photos. Really, I don't think it was that bad. I thought no. Something funny going on in their corporate accounting. So we definitely approach it from the perspective of how can we help you make a profit and then leave the social issues to you. And then you referenced in there the most important element out to the market with the availability of things like podcasting and local library.
Did I mention that he has a sincere honesty and a dryness in his conversations?
I've had lunch with Natalie. She was aware of this.
Now explain something. Explain Net Squared Nonprofit Technology.
Net Squared is an organization that is trying to take what we call social software technology and apply it in the nonprofit sector. So I'm definitely a businessman. I've got 17 salaries to pay. But a lot of our clients, over a third of our clients, are associations and nonprofits. So it's, as Jim Collins says in Good to Great, in the nonprofit sector, you've got two bottom lines. One is the actual net profit, but the other one is going to be slightly more intangible. It's going to be advancing a social cause. And Net Squared, it's netsquared.org, all written out, NETSQUARED.org, is an organization. They're very, very West Coast. So it's a bit West Coast for a Houston person, but they openly talk about bringing together, first and foremost, the social sector, and then getting together with the geeks to figure out what's the right tool to solve a particular problem. And tomorrow night, actually, in Houston, no, I'm sorry, Tuesday night in Houston, we have got Solona Bonewald from the League of Technical Voters speaking here in Houston at Stag's Head Pub at 7 p.m. And we usually cover the bar tab, so just added incentive. So, but again, that's this Tuesday.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. Now explain RSS, Real Simple Syndication.
Real Simple Syndication is a method for computers and websites to talk to each other. So when you go look at a web page, and then you go look at another web page, as a human, you can look at it and say, oh, well, the address on this one's on the top left, and you go to the next page and you say the address on that one's on the top right. And as a human, you can figure out that on both those pages, that's the address. RSS is not that simple. I mean, web pages are not that simple because a computer looks at that and it can't figure that out. And so RSS is a way of taking your web content so that other websites and other things like an iPod, we talked about podcasting earlier.
Right.
Podcasting, actually what you do is you put the MP3, which is the audio file that you recorded, and it is actually served in an RSS feed. So RSS is one of those technologies that you deeply need, but most users will never see it. It's right now about 30% of the internet is using RSS. When you use like my Yahoo homepage, that is based off of RSS. So us technical folks love it. You are going to typically roll your eyes and say, just make it work, Ed. But RSS is very exciting. And again, it segues into a different issue. Is right now with RSS, we can easily share headlines, and I can be kept up to date on who is the latest father of the latest Playboy playmate who is no longer with us. But if I lose a child, in the example of a Katrina situation, I actually don't have a standard like RSS to share missing people. So while, and that again goes to where Net Squared and organizations like that have a role to play, because if we can trade headlines, that's nice, but hey, wouldn't it also be nice to be able to have a standard method of finding lost kids? So there's still a lot of work to be done. We've made a lot of progress in the last 10 years, but we're by no means finished.
One of the things that I just basically wanted to do with you is kind of like touch on a variety of things because I'm quite sure my listeners, they scan